Another day of adventures with Wes and Jeff, and we're at the Gold Discovery Museum in Coloma, California. This is the actual spot where gold was discovered back in 1848. Marshall, who was hired by John Sutter down in Sacramento to build a sawmill up here on the river. And once they started digging to start building that sawmill, they discovered gold here in 1848. So stick with us today. We're going to tour through this museum here, learn more about the gold rush history and how they discovered gold here and some of the artifacts they still have in this area.
And the frozen, it expands, and a piece like this will roll down the side of the hill into the creek.
Yeah.
And then at high water times, this thing's bouncing along the bottom, and pretty soon the quartz is broken away.
Yeah.
And so this one actually has a little tiny piece of quartz. You
Quartz
can't,
right
you
in
can't
there.
really see it without a microscope, but it's in there.
Oh yeah, right in there.
And we call that gold in quartz as opposed to a nugget. Nugget actually means absence of rock.
Okay.
It doesn't mean all gold, because gold is never ever found in a pure form. It's always an alloy. And the gold right around here is 90 or 85% gold. The rest is being mostly silver and copper. But it can have platinum, osmium, a whole bunch of heavy metals.
Heavy metals kind of come together.
So
They found gold in the foothills all up and down the Sierras, or mostly just in the central area near Sacramento, like west of or east of Sacramento.
The vein goes about 120 miles. So it goes way beyond.
Like up to Oroville?
Sonora?
Yes, way even beyond Oroville.
Yes.
Well,
And all
We
the
have a
way
piece
down
of
past-
property.
Well,
Darryl
Oroville.
said, yeah.
Well, it may have got its name Oro.
That's
Gold.
exactly where it got.
Well, I
Right?
think up there
Yeah.
they use the hydro cannons.
Yeah.
this spot here in Coloma, California, James Marshall found the first spot of gold as they were building a sawmill for John Sutter from Sacramento at the fort. And he found less than an ounce in the tail race of John Sutter's sawmill along the Raritan River here. This wasn't the first gold that had been found in California, but the time was right for change. This discovery would transform the West and the country. In just a few short years, California grew from a remote destination into the golden state where fortunes could be made. So here beside the James Marshall Gold Discovery Museum here in Coloma is a nice little trail that meanders down and around and through the old town here, and there are some gold panning paraphernalia, as well as it leads down to where the first gold was found here in California. I will meander down through there and take a few shots of some of the buildings and some of the paraphernalia that they have and share that with you. So this is the Chinese store. So the majority of the people didn't make their money from the gold, pulling it from the river. They made their money from selling goods and services to the gold miners, the shovels, the things that they didn't have in order to do these tasks. So they came with what they had on their backs, and so they didn't really have enough to, or have enough room to carry all that, the provisions. So these are the guys that made the money, because they could charge extra. They could charge 5 times the amount that the person would buy this back home and bring it out here. Here on the grounds of the gold discovery here in Coloma, California, is the Coloma Road. The old Coloma Road was opened in 1847 from Sutter's Fort to Coloma, and was used by Marshall to carry the news of the discovery to Captain John Sutter. During the gold rush, it was used by thousands of miners going to and from the diggings up here, and in 1849 it became the route of California's first stage line, established by James E. Birch. So it's a registered a California registered historical landmark, this Coloma Road. So this was the old road. Here is the spot in 1848 where James Marshall caught sight of the gleaming small gold nuggets in the tail race of the sawmill. With a gold piece in his hand, he could not have imagined that people would come from all over the world in search of this gold. And little did he know that decades later, we would still visit this spot where he found gold. We're going to walk in his footsteps and explore the sawmill here. So if you see off here to the left, it's the sawmill. And it was commissioned to be built by, it was a partnership between him and John Sutter down at Sutter's Fort in Sacramento to build this sawmill so that they could have more lumber to build things down at the fort. More and more immigrants were settling across the United States to California and into Oregon, and so they needed more and more of the wood to make some of their buildings. So he commissioned him to come up here into the foothills just east of Sacramento, about 40 or 50 miles, to move that wood down. And in order to do it, he had to build on the South Fork, a sawmill on the South Fork of the American River. So this is a sawmill. Trout fishermen on the South Fork of the American River, right here at Sutter Mill. Beautiful, great day. I am at the original site of the Sutter Mill, which was being constructed and built by James Marshall here along the South Fork of the American River in Coloma, California, where he discovered the first speck of gold here in California. So this rock monument marks the spot where the mill was, and James Marshall discovered gold here back in 1848, actually on January the 24th, starting the Great Gold Rush to California. The Society of California Pioneers definitely located and marked this site back in 1924. Additional timbers and relics, including original tail race unearthed in 1947, were discovered after property became a state park here, and Marshall, the monument overlooking this spot, was erected following movement inaugurated in 1886 by the Native Sons of the Golden West. So a tablet was placed here by the historic landmark committees and the native sons and native daughters of the Golden West in 1948. But this is the South Fork, and this is the actual spot. So pretty cool. It was a beautiful day here. That's a neat little bridge. Gotta go over there and go across that. Coloma Bridge here in Coloma, California, where gold was discovered back in 1848. And this bridge was built, it goes across the river here at the South Fork of the American River, and it was built back in 1913. So before that period of time, it was hard to keep anything here because of the fact that it would flood at different times of year, especially as the snow melted and you weren't able to navigate this bridge or these waters. So I'm gonna quickly go across this bridge because it is a one-lane bridge and you have to share, they allow pedestrians on it, but you have to share it with the cars. So there just happened to be a car coming, so I'm gonna have to share this bridge with them. So if you enjoyed our little adventure here at the Discovery Gold Museum and the grounds here at Coloma, California, be sure and hit the like button down below, and consider subscribing to our channel and follow us on our adventures, our travel adventures here in California and beyond. Whatever you're doing today, get out to the great outdoors and do something that makes you smile.